sometimes employees are not necessarily income producing positions, but could help you to be able to not be in the office.
Correct.
So sometimes they're not necessarily increasing more money, but they're giving you more time.
So you have an employee in your practice or in your business to achieve valuable final products and to help you to make more money. When a person is hired on, one of the things that we teach our clients is that when you hire somebody into the practice, by the 90-day mark, you want to be making 3 times what you're paying that person. In other words, if you're paying that person $3,000 a month, then your revenue should be up by $9,000 by the 90-day mark. Why? If you're bringing a person on and your revenue only goes up by $3,000, well, you might as well have not had that person and done that work yourself. If it goes up by twice that amount, okay, you're kind of getting into a good place. But really what you want to be doing is you want to be bringing it up to at least 3 times that amount. That's just as a basic sort of an overall. Obviously, in the first month, you're going to have some training. You're going to have to invest into that person. Yeah. But if that person is not pushing you forward into where you want to go, then you might as well not have somebody there, and in order to do that.
Now, sometimes employees are not necessarily income producing positions, but could help you to be able to not be in the office.
Correct.
So sometimes they're not necessarily increasing more money, but they're giving you more time.
Even if it's a personal assistant who's handling your own personal things at home, even if that person's folding your laundry or running errands for you, that is freeing up your time as the owner, as the manager, and as the dreamer of the practice to be able to do the things that are going to make more money into the practice and to create bigger ideas, bigger goals, bigger things like that. They're not there to make money, but they're there to do those things. Even if it's a front desk person you're bringing on, if that person comes in, the front desk's role is increase the number of patient visits and is to get patients to complete their care plans. Yeah. And if they're doing that, that alone is going to increase the revenue in the practice.
It totally is. And then it also could just get them so that you can get to dinner on time.
That's right.
I mean, that's another thing. It's like sometimes if let's say you're an associate doc and you're doing all the treatments and now you have another person, maybe they're not taking over all the adjustments, but you've arranged it so that all the afternoon patients go to that person. You could wear your exec hat, which should increase income for sure. But then you can also go home on time and spend time with your family.
Right.
Another indicator to me when you know when to fire somebody, and this is very experiential in my running TBA and having to do this, is when you find out that when you notice that you're talking about this person and it's taking so much time, the issues that this employee is having. So like, let's say every meeting you're spending, if you're having a meeting with your partner, your friend, your coach, and 10 minutes of every call is about this person. Oh, he did this again, and he made this mistake, and oh, he's good at this, but like this happened again and again. And so you're just like spending so much time stressing about one employee that it's just all the indicators, all the red flags about this is the wrong person to have in this position. It could be that they're causing, like I had somebody who was actually a really good producer, but would not get along with other team members. To clients, everything seemed great. And I mean, there was obviously some issues, but it wasn't nothing major that would be fireable. But internally, it was a struggle to get them to have good relationships with the rest of the office.
Right.
And that was an issue that when she, basically wanted to leave, she got another offer of something. And I was like, okay, great. Well done to you for pulling that in. And I realized it was such a stress relief for some other people because it didn't get along and it was causing other people's production to get troubled. Another example is somebody that I was paying quite a bit. And every day I was feeling like I'm paying this person so much money, but I'm still having to wear their hat. They've been here 3 months. I think at this point it was 6 months. And it's not like they weren't wearing a hat at all. Like there was definitely functions that he was wearing that was really good that no one else had done as well. But the amount I was paying was for somebody who would do that and other things. And if I'm still having to wear this hat, it's not relieving me at all on this part of the job. And it just wasn't worth that payroll. So I knew that this person wasn't necessarily wanting to stay for any lower amount of money, but I also wanted to give him that option. I was like, okay, so I'm paying you this. What if based on this is a hat that you're actually wearing. He was supposed to be over 2 divisions. He was really running 1. I'm paying you to be over 2, but since you're not running this other division, I'm going to cut your pay to what I would pay somebody who's over this division. And I was just like, I really think you're great at this, but I'm paying for you to do. And I'd given him lots of warnings. This is not like I didn't tell him what I was going to do in the warnings, but I said, if you don't show that you can take over this part of the hat, there's going to be an issue. Like I'm giving you, and I gave him and we have a gradients of what you do when you want to when you think you need to fire somebody to build up to that point. It's good for documentation, but it's also good for the person. If you think they could turn around, you can give them a gradient of a warning and, this might happen. Anyways, it came to a point where it didn't work out. Like he took that lower paid position for like a week and then it's like, oh, that doesn't work, which I didn't think it would anyway, because I know he needed more money. But it was good for me to also just be truthful and get it out of the way. The second that he was gone and I had to absorb all of those hats, I was like, there were some things that I never really did the same way because like I didn't have the time. But everything else, the main stuff, I was able to absorb really easily and find another person that could do the hat that I needed. And that's just something that I kind of use as a rule of thumb. If there's someone I'm complaining about, and I've tried I'm not a complainer. I deal with the person. I very much don't back off on confronting outnesses. But I try to give people that I like a lot of chances if I can. But if I'm worried about it or I'm bringing it up at a partner meeting, we had another guy that would blow up a lot, but he seemed very technically able and he kept making it seem like no one else could do this job that he does. When it was time to part ways, it was such a relief for several people because it was someone that you're just talking about over and over again.
As the business owner, you are the business.
Yeah.
Like as a business, so the business is a reflection of you as the business owner, and you are 100% of the business. And so when you hire an employee, that person is, honestly, it's a part of you as the business.
Right.
And they're taking that piece and performing that function in that way. And this is how you're going to expand out to that. And so if that person comes in and they are a piece of some other business that's trying to be transplanted into you, well, that doesn't work out. So one of the things that we do with any new employee is they start in a condition of non-existence. And in that condition of non-existence, they have to find the communication line, make themselves known, discover what is needed and wanted, and then produce those things. Where a lot of people make a mistake is that they're operating in, well, I was successful over in Joe's practice or this other area or this other job, and that was what was needed and wanted. But you need to discover what is needed and wanted right here. And if they can't produce that, then it's time to find somebody else who can, because this is your business.
Right.